Stop scrolling for 10 seconds and answer this honestly. When was the last time you did something that genuinely terrified you? Not a roller coaster, not asking someone out. I'm talking about something that threatened the very identity you've built for yourself. Something where failure wouldn't just hurt it, would expose who you really are underneath all the performance. Can't remember? That's not an accident. That's the prediction. In 1883, Friedrich Nietzsche described a future human he called the last man. This wasn't science fiction. It was a warning. And in 2026, you're living proof he was right. Here's what the last man looks like. He's comfortable. He's safe. He's got his routines optimized, his feed curated, his life planned. He's invented happiness, or at least he's convinced himself he has. He watches others do great things. He has opinions about everything and commitments to nothing. He blinks at discomfort and returns to his screen. Sound familiar? Because here's the thing, Nietzsche understood that we've completely forgotten. Comfort is not the reward for a life well lived. Comfort is the cage that prevents you from living at all. Let me show you what I mean. Right now, you probably have a dream rotting in your chest. Maybe it's a book you'll never write, a business you'll never start, a truth you'll never speak, a life you'll never live. You know it's there. You feel it sometimes, late at night, when the distractions stop working. But you don't pursue it. Why? Because pursuing it would mean risking the comfortable identity you've built. It would mean people might judge you. It would mean you might fail publicly, catastrophically, irreversibly. So instead, you scroll. You consume content about people living the life you want. You optimize your productivity. You curate your aesthetic. You perform a version of yourself that's acceptable, likable, safe. You've become the last man, and you don't even know it. Nietzsche saw this coming in the 1880s. He watched industrialization and mass culture spreading across Europe, and he noticed something horrifying. People were getting smaller. Not physically, spiritually. They were trading their souls for security, their authenticity for approval, their dangerous potential for guaranteed mediocrity. He wrote, "What is love? What is creation? What is longing? What is a star?" And then he added the most chilling line, "Thus asks the last man," and he blinks. That blink, that's the tell. It's the moment you look away from anything that challenges you. It's the reflex of retreating into comfort when greatness demands discomfort. You do it every day. Someone shares an uncomfortable truth. Blink, scroll past. An opportunity requires you to risk your current status. Blink, stay safe. Your own thoughts start getting too real, too deep, too dangerous. Blink, open another app. This is the civilization we've built, a perfect machine for producing people who blink. Now, here's where 2026 gets crucial, and why Nietzsche's prediction isn't just coming true, it's accelerating. We're approaching a world where you'll never have to be uncomfortable again. AI will do your thinking. Automation will do your work. Virtual reality will provide perfect experiences without risk. You'll be able to live an entire life in simulated meaning, simulated achievement, simulated depth, and you'll never have to become anything real. This is what Nietzsche feared most, not suffering, not chaos, not even death. He feared a humanity that had eliminated all the struggle that makes us human and called it progress. But there's something else Nietzsche wrote about. He called it the Übermensch. It's usually translated as Superman, but that's completely wrong. It's better understood as the one who overcomes. Overcomes what? Overcomes himself. The Übermensch doesn't wait for life to have meaning. He creates meaning through action. He doesn't wait for permission to become great. He makes himself great through deliberate struggle. He looks at a meaningless universe and says, "Fine, then I will impose my will on chaos. I will become what I am meant to be." Let me give you a real example of what this looks like. There's a 34-year-old accountant right now who hates his job. He's good at it. It pays well. His family approves. But every morning, he feels a piece of himself dying. He has a dream of building something, doesn't matter what something, that's genuinely his. The last man in him says, "Be realistic. You have a mortgage. What if you fail? What will people think?" So he stays. He optimizes his comfort. He tells himself he's being responsible. He dies slowly, safely, with his potential intact and unexpressed. But there's another version. Same guy, same circumstances, but this version stops lying to himself. He admits that he's not being responsible. He's being cowardly. He's not being realistic. He's being small. So he starts, not perfectly, not with a guarantee. He starts building something that scares him, knowing he might fail, knowing people might judge him, knowing he might discover he's not as capable as he hoped. And in that moment of choosing discomfort over comfort, choosing risk over safety, choosing becoming over remaining, he stops being the last man. That's the difference. Not talent, not circumstances, not luck, choice, Carl Jung said. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The path to becoming fully human requires deliberate discomfort. It requires choosing the difficult thing precisely because it's difficult. But here's what nobody tells you. You're already in pain right now. The quiet, gnawing pain of unlived potential. The ache of authentic thoughts you never express. The weight of a life you're not actually living. The last man's pain is purposeless suffering, the slow death of everything you could have been. The Übermensch's pain is transformative, the deliberate destruction of who you are to become who you're meant to be. Both hurt, only one means something. So let me ask you the question that actually matters. What are you avoiding right now because it terrifies you? Not what should you do? What are you actively running from? That answer, that thing you just thought of, that's where your real life is hiding. Not in your feed, not in your comfortable routines, not in the performance you've perfected for other people. It's in the thing you're most afraid to pursue. And here's the brutal truth Nietzsche wants you to understand. You're going to die, not someday, not eventually, soon, sooner than you think. Every comfortable day you spend as the last man is a day you'll never get back. Every time you choose safety over authenticity, you're choosing a small death over a dangerous life. The security you're clinging to, it's an illusion. Your job can disappear. Your relationships can end. Your health can fail. The only real security is knowing that you lived fully, that you pursued your potential, even knowing you might fail, that you created your own meaning in a meaningless universe. Nietzsche had a phrase for this. Amor Fati, love your fate, not just accept your life. Love it so intensely that if given the chance to live it again, exactly as it was, every struggle, every failure, every moment of doubt, you would choose it without hesitation. Can you say that about your current life? If you can't, then you know what you have to do. Look, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this sounds great, but my circumstances are different. I have responsibilities. I have bills. I can't just pursue some reckless dream. And you're right, sort of. But that's not what this is about. This isn't about quitting your job or burning your life down. This is about something more fundamental. Are you living or are you performing life? Are you making choices based on who you actually are, or based on who you think you should be? Are you pursuing what matters to you, or what impresses other people? Are you becoming, or are you remaining? The last man isn't a type of person, it's a daily choice. It's the moment you feel the pull toward something real and you blink, you scroll, you distract, you retreat into comfort. And the terrifying part of Nietzsche's prediction? Most people will make that choice. Most people will live entire lives in the shallow end, never knowing the depth that was available to them. Most people will die with their music still inside them. But you don't have to be most people. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can close this video, feel briefly inspired, and return to the comfortable patterns that are slowly suffocating your soul. Or you can do something different. You can look at your life with honest eyes. You can admit what you've been avoiding. You can choose one small act of becoming over remaining, not tomorrow, not when circumstances are perfect, now. Because here's what Nietzsche's prediction really means. The last man isn't coming. He's already here. He's sitting in your chair, looking through your eyes, living your optimized, comfortable, meaningless life. But he doesn't have to stay. You can choose the struggle that creates meaning. You can choose the discomfort that forges character. You can choose to become dangerous, authentic, uncomfortably alive. The world doesn't need more content consumers, more passive observers, more people who blink and scroll when confronted with their own potential. The world needs people who refuse to be the last man, people who look at their fears and walk toward them, people who create meaning in the face of meaninglessness. Nietzsche's prediction wasn't inevitable. It was a challenge, and every single day you're answering it. So, answer this. 10 years from now, when you look back at this moment, at this exact point in your life, will you remember the person who blinked, or the person who finally stopped blinking and started living? The last man asks, "What is a star?" The Übermensch becomes one. Don't blink.